Hey, Conscious Crew, welcome to another riveting episode of the CTV platform. You already know what we're here to get into. We're warming up that algorithm, honey. Please swing and bang on the like feature if you're coming into the building. Thumbing up the video not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally letting the Conscious Crew know to get their asses in the building. I just got distracted from a text message, y'all. To get their asses in the building, baby, because we're all live and in color. You're also unthawing the hell out of the algorithm. Y'all know that YouTube be playing on the King's head, top child. But I'm getting the momentum back, But teamwork makes the dream work. So as you're coming in, please run the likes all the way up. Thumbing up is one of the most significant things you can do on the platform. It unalives two birds with one stone. It helps to trigger up notifications, and it helps to boost the algorithm. If you enjoy everything that Kane does here, you can always donate to the platform at $Consciouztv on Cash App and or paypal.me/Consciouztv. That's Conscious spelled with the Z on the end, just like it is here on the channel. All donation information and social media handles are in the description box below, as well as scrolling from right to left in red and white at the bottom of the screen. And my wonderful moderators always repost all social media handles for your indulgent pleasure. What's up? Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all so that you never miss a day or hour when the King is in fact King. And last but not least, please share the stream out to whatever it is you have digital community, whether that be a YouTube community or your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact let the link. Set them horse on the we're loud, we're live, and we're certainly in color. But no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? Happy Hump Day. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed midday week like I am. My God, today we got a few things to get into. I plan on coming back to you guys before the night is out. There are so many things I want to talk to y'all about. There are so many things going on and headlining that we got to discuss, child. But what we're here to do to discuss right now is Monique, the comedian Monique. Baby, y'all know I love me some Monique, my God, today. So I got a feeling I'm gonna have to put a bonnet on her head today, okay? Monique done got into her pro or her anti bonnet bag again, all right? And the Don Lemon Show held a panel and had a discussion around that. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised by Don Lemon leaning into the anti-pajamas to class, anti-bonnet conversation. It was really disappointing. However, we're going to get there, but not before we get into the funky Dineva situation. Now, I see the Conscious Crew in the building right now, baby. Destiny says, what's going on, Trey? Destiny says Don thought he wanted his show to be ghetto but funky. Set his show on fire. Oh my goodness. Valerie says, I thought Funky was supposed to be on Don today to discuss bonnets. Clearly Don saw your coverage. My God, today, not Funky was supposed to be on the show today, girl, but Don said, let's smoke clear. Give me some time to think, girl, about what come with the side effects, okay, of being in close proximity to Miss Funky Girl, okay? I told Don, girl, you better do your Carfax and you better think this all the way through, girl, okay? Unfortunately, as talented as Funky Dineva is, baby, he come with a side effect label, baby, okay? Your credit score is liable to plummet, bitch. You liable to lose the points on your damn license and end up evicted messing around with that damn funky Dineva. So I'm happy that Don Lemon is considering the risk factor, girl. Maybe giving himself some time to put in place some liability insurance, girl, and really preparate for this thing. But we do have to talk about Funky Dineva on Don Lemon's platform, because you guys know that Don brought Funky Dineva on 2 days ago to discuss the Nolan Wells case, which is a case that we're all covering at this point. Everybody is invested. It's off the chain right now. And Funky Dineva got into a professional and intellectual discord with Don Lemon's boots to the ground correspondent. I'm not sure what role or what Daniel's official title is. I call him a correspondent. And he's also a journalist. And Funky, apparently the night before he got on Don Lemon's platform, said that he was going to tug on Daniel's wig. Now, I'm not sure about what the backstory is, because as a commentator who does a lot of hot topics and covers a multitude of cases, I don't have time to watch any one person's platform all the time, because I'm doing research of my own. I'm gathering stories that I'm interested in. So, you know, I don't know if Funky and Daniel had a previous exchange about this case and what's going on in it that led Funky to wanting to circle the block, or whether Funky had saw some of Daniel's coverage and talking points about the case, and that made him want to put one of his bunions straight to Daniel's neck. Whatever it was, it ended up with Don Lemon getting into his messy LGBT bag and putting both of them niggas up on the platform together for them to have an entertaining yet professional discord. And within that discord, Funky ended up calling Daniel a house ninja. I followed up in my commentary and called Funky Dineva ghetto as a result of him doing the cheap, stank, funky, no pun intended, bullshit that he has a history of always doing anytime he exists outside of his own space. Even I, as a commentator, know the difference between my bubble that I get to be in when we're in my house, when we're in the house of CTV, when we're in the house of consciousness, okay? There's a certain type of rawness and nudity and authenticity that you are permitted when you're sitting in your shit, and you don't have to consider the optics. You don't have to consider anyone else, because you are literally in your living room, metaphorically speaking, aka your channel, doing what you do best. And anybody who don't like it can find them somebody else's house to sit in. Okay, but every time Funky kind of gets outside of his space, he ends up putting himself in a situation that ends up sabotaging him. And it reminds the industry of the baggage and the liability that often is and does become Funky Dineva. And I didn't mix my words when taking him through that in my commentary, because as much as I may be considered a hater of Funky Dineva, because I oftentimes criticize him, if you let me tell it, I feel like my criticism is constructive. It might feel frequent because he frequently fucks up, just like Barnyard Wiggins. You know, I mean, I can't help it if somebody frequently fucks up. You know, you frequently fuck up, I'm going to have frequent constructive criticism. But the reality is, and I mean it, and I mean what I say, and y'all know that I do, because I don't tell no lies, and I don't pretend to like nobody who I motherfucking don't. And y'all know that. So if I didn't like him, if I really didn't see it for him, I would fucking say that, because y'all know I have no problem saying just that, because who gonna check me, boo? But I mean it. I like Funky Dineva. I think Funky Dineva is great at what he does. I know that Funky Dineva is one of the OGs, and he's one of the first Black queer commentators that really kind of carved out this commentating space. he was a part of that second line of YouTubers who was coming on doing, you know, the everyday talk and popping it, etc., opening up this lane. I respect him on the Mount Rushmore of YouTube OGs, you know, that have paved the way for batter bitches like me to be able to hit the ground running. So shout out to Funky Dineva for walking so that a bitch could be a track star in this motherfucker. You know, I think that Funky Dineva says incredible things. I know sometimes that Funky Dineva steals my motherfucking talking points. I have been live and giving coverage to conversations and subjects and then literally went and listened to Funky Dineva and had him practically verbatim copy and paste my motherfucking talking points. But Funky Dineva can't openly, you know, say he supports me. He can't openly admit to that because of the way I position myself as a critic of his. Even though he and I run in some ways in similar circles, we have similar associations, we know kind of all the same people when it comes to celebrities, reality stars, and other social media influencers. I know for a fact my name has come up, my name has been dropped. I'm very close to people that he has in his Rolodex of content, you know, of contacts, etc. So I just want to lay that down as a disclaimer. And because I'm rooting for Funky Dineva, because I do see it for him, it does agitate me when I see him dropping the ball because, you know, he does so good when it's good and then it's boom. You know, that rocket just explodes into 50 million living pieces. So I did a commentary follow-up calling him ghetto. And apparently I didn't know that they're actively in real time in the live chat while I was live, there was an entire Discord happening about criticizing me for criticizing Funky Dineva and for calling him ghetto, for calling another black man a house ninja. Because y'all know when I'm live, I kind of only peekaboo at my live chat because I get distracted. My ADHD can't, you know, I can't walk and chew gum when I'm, you know, loud, live, and in color, baby, okay? So in order to maintain the continuity of what I'm focused upon in my subject matter, I will not really pay attention to that chat. So it wasn't until I spoke to my moderator today, Rumors in Tea, who I have with me today. She's going to be joining me in this discussion about bonnets and Don Lemon's panel, and also this whole calling Funky Dineva ghetto shit. And she was like, girl, did you see the conversation that was happening? She was like, I think it was a really good Discord happening and a really good discussion happening when you were calling Funky Dineva out on his ghetto banter and behavior. I said, no, I missed the whole thing. And I never went and watched the replay because once again, you know, it's been so, you know, there's Nolan Well cases happening per minute. So when I jump off live, I done got suctioned into all of that and I'm looking at all of that. So I don't even have time to go back and look into whatever. So we're going to react to whatever that criticism was. Rumor saw more of the conversation than I did, obviously. So I'm going to bring her up right now. We're going to have the discussion. If we have time, I'm going to drop the link for anybody who has anything to say about Funky calling Daniel a house ninja or me calling Funky calling him ghetto. I'm not above reproach. If you have constructive criticism for me, I am more than willing to indulge you in giving you the space to listen to you and we can have that conversation, etc., because that's what we do here on the Consciouztv platform. With no further ado, hi, Rumors.
Hey, Conscious.
What's going on?
Happy hump day to the crew. So y'all already know. Get in here, thumbs up the video, share. And don't forget to leave, you know, a beautiful little token at the throne of the king.
Ooh,
we appreciate it.
The collection plate. Yes, God, honey. Mm-hmm. Be nice to the king, crew. Mm-hmm. All right, so Rumors, you informed me today. You know, everybody heard the commentary that went around the world, him calling Daniel a house ninja. You know, our follow-up conversation to refresh people's memory of what took place. I'm going to fair use and show what took place on Don Lemon Show. And the context here is Funky and Daniel was unpacking the Nolan Wells new audio that got cleaned up that seemingly reveals that Nolan Wells was on the boat, that the friends say he was not, and that he might have actually been unalived or seemingly definitely injured and unconscious at the very least, based upon the background audio of a call to CTV, which is a boat towing company that the young man who owns the boat reached out to because the boat was allegedly taking in water. And so this call to this company ended up recording a lot of the conversation that was taking place before the dispatcher ended up on the line. So now Funky and Daniel are having their exchange, and this is what Funky said to Miss Daniels on the Don Lemon show.
Secondly, Daniel, what really just makes me uncomfortable with you in this particular situation is just this reluctance to be like, they did something to that boy. They know what happened to that boy. The first appearance, it was, oh, we don't know. Let's wait until we get the evidence. Let's wait until we get the facts. Now we've got what many people consider to be an ace in the hole and a smoking gun. Now it's this, well, I don't know what we're hearing with the lungs and the time and the this. Listen, with all due disrespect, miss me with the bullshit, okay? Miss me with it. Common sense overrides all of this fluff and caution. They know what happened to him. They know what happened to him. Even if you're screaming, oh my God, Nolan. Why are you screaming, oh my God, Nolan? At that point, whether he drowned, whether it's water in the lungs, whether the throat is missing, whether his Nike sandal is missing. Why are you screaming, oh my God, Nolan? Matters not. You know what happened to him. And even though we can't hear every single specific word, there was panic surrounding Nolan.
And I'm going to reiterate and double down. People are saying, girl, the chin, girl. Natalie Nunn, bring the chin down, okay? Jim Carrey, bring the goddamn chin down, okay? I agree with y'all. Daniel does have a punchable face. So I understand why Dineva is irritated, because he's not only irritated at what he considers to be Daniel's hesitant to call a spade, but on an unconscious level, Daniel's aesthetic is arousing the abuser, and the lunatic inside of Funky. If you have any type of any part of your personality that's capable of being violent, you know, Daniel's face is going to arouse that. Okay, he just has a punchable ass face. All right.
Why was there panic? What were y'all panicking about? And that is what we need to delve into. Okay, so
no, hang on 1 second, Daniel. I just want to say. Hold on. Just give me a second. Yeah, you're going to respond. I just want to clear something up. So that is the version that we played for you is the one that was released by the actual audio engineer that she released overnight. If there's a cleaner or a clearer version, please pass it along to us. I'm not aware of that. We thought we were playing the clearer version. So there's
like if you have any part of you that's a bully, you know exactly where you want to land your knuckles on his face. Like, you know exactly the part of his face you want to come in contact with. Like, if you have any type of a bully inside of you, baby, it's a very specific type of a punch to the face. You know exactly where you want that heat-seeking missile to land, baby. Okay, it's that polarizing of a punchable face.
Subterfuge here. I thought that was a clearer version, but just text it to me and I'll give it to Andy.
The one from Nancy Grace.
All right, thank you very much. Go ahead, Dan.
Of people who.
Okay, he paying them bills. We gotta pay them too, child. Y'all run the lights all the way up. I thought I had actually queued it up to the house ninja comment, but I see I didn't. But this is good too, because it just gives a fuller unraveling of what took place, child, because Daniel really had Miss Funky press boots, girl. Like, he couldn't just say that them people murdered their damn friend. And the irony of that is that Bart, you really did it, Bart. Remember when I said in my follow-up, y'all, that I'm not mad at Daniel for playing the journalism game and saying, girl, let's wait on all the facts to come out, because my piggy bank can't handle no legal smoke. So let's wait until we get to speaking emphatically and leave some room for this investigation and the coroner's office and all the details of the case to unfold before we get to making emphatic statements, because Miss Daniel is trying to preserve them new Don Lemon checks, okay? And she don't need no smoke. From the Big 30, okay? Who boated out there, girl, to Horn Island. Because you know they came out there in 30. They came out there in 3 boats together. All right? And the irony is, today, Bart, the young man who claimed that he was in Wyoming for a year and he was not physically there, but then seemingly was there, based upon we hearing his name in the audio, then that was corroborated by Warren, who did an interview with Dr. Tatum, a.k.a. Dr. Tatum, girl, Officer Tatum, a.k.a. Officer Raccoon, and verbatim said that that Bart was there, and not only was he there, it was his boat that towed their boat to the mainland. Well, guess what? Bart issued a public statement today, and we'll be getting into that after this live stream, of him stating that he is suing content creators who have accused him of foul play and have defamed his name. So lawsuits will be going out, baby. Now, Daniel can tell Funky to put that in his back pocket, okay? See, Daniel ain't got to worry about that, because he been out here playing the let's be patient game. Let's, wait until more preliminary findings game, okay? See, he ain't got to worry about it and start putting his big screen in his mama's name. He ain't got to worry about high and liquid assets and material assets under the bed, baby, because his verbiage and his rhetoric been on par with nobody being able to put him as a defendant on a lawsuit, while fucking and even out here hooting and hollering, girl, to the top of his lungs. Dumb people did it. Dumb people know it. Dumb people. So right now it's looking like Daniel for the win, girl. Daniel for the win, my God.
Funeral. They show up to the funeral. Just that simple. You keep talking about all of this information that we need, and what I'm trying to express to you instinctually is that there is so much information that's being laid out in front of us. Daniel, if me, you, Don, we went out, we partied, we decided to leave you behind, and your body washes up and your family is somewhere grieving, me and Don are calling your mother and we're saying, do you need us to bring anything to the repast? What do you need? We are riding behind the family in the family car. We are at the funeral. And what you don't see when that young man does that interview, I think his name is Wyatt, what you don't see is tears. What you don't see is and have enough audacity to throw a little bit of water up under my eye to formulate some semblance of a tear. And yet you got somebody there just so mad.
Hold on. I think in his defense that he is.
And not that black people.
Here we go.
Are more concerned about you.
Here we go.
Just want that. I just think for me, just on some after 5 happy hour, brother to brother, informal type stuff, there's just a level of emotion and concern I'm missing from you. There really is. Like there is just
Don Lemon is being deeply naive. You're saying that a man who's been in media for damn near 15, 20 years is not media trained. Is Don okay? And look, this is the type of passivity and excuse making that people who have tried to align with him get themselves into. Whether it was acquired from Married to Medicine, who brought him into Sister Circle, and then he admitted he blew that over drug use. Whether it was Claudia, who brought him into TGIF, who, you know, that ended up in flames. I mean, it's like at what point do you stop enabling people and you hold them to the fire? You're going to say that Funky, and somebody who brags about his roster in media and, you know, him being on reality shows and TV and etc. And you're going to say that person is not. Are you, Don? Are you okay? Did Don take the jab? It might be the jab. The jab has changed niggas' a frontal temporal lobe, girl. It might be the nanobots from the jab. It's possible. But this is the type, you know what I don't understand? I never have understood what is so difficult about loving someone that you call a friend or family enough to tell them what they need to be told instead of pacifying them. I don't have that problem. So, you know, it really is interesting to me when I see that people struggle. Like, for me, loving somebody means that I love you enough to get on your nerve by telling you what I believe is in your best interest. When I am choosing to pacify you to avoid your ego or to avoid your temperament or to avoid you having an attitude with me, I actually feel that I'm doing you a disservice. I actually feel convicted when I am fluffing someone's ego and I'm choosing to preserve my own ego in exchange for potentially telling someone that I love something that could be transformative and of substance to them. For Don to say that Funky Dineva out of all people is not media trained is outrageous. Dineva has had several opportunities over to be the most refined commentator in this space. He sat on his high horse in front of Carlos King and gave this very OG elder dissertation about Armand Wiggins not being able to keep it together on Fox Soul, and told Armand Wiggins to practically grow the fuck up. So what that also let us know is that Funky Dineva has the information in his own head. He understands too that decorum and professionalism is necessary and something that makes any shared mutual space a functional space for all people. That you're being professional for your sake and for someone else's sake. When we're being decent, when we're being reasonable, when we have impulse control, when we're being rational, when we're being logical, when we're being emotionally grounded. And yet, despite his beard even telling us that he's old enough to do better, Don Lemon is also going to sit there in his very elder age and make an excuse for an overly grown ass man and say he does not and is not media trained. I would rather him say that about Daniel. So you telling me that Daniel, who is only 36 years of age, younger than Funky Dineva, was able to hold a conversation with Funky Dineva, be called a house ninja without even emotionally flinching, without even raising his voice, nor resulting in ad hominem attempts and attacks, was able to be better poised and keep that Natalie Nunn chin up to the sky, baby. Keep his, baby, still I rise, baby. Daniel was in his Maya Angelou posture. Are you telling me that Daniel, who's younger than Funky, was able to be there insulted, berated, dehumanized, humiliated, and keep his wits, hold his shit together, and fuck at who've been in media for 15 to 20 damn years and is one of the world's oldest girls, behavior should be excused this far in to his commentating career. Are you okay? And this is exactly why people do not change, because oftentimes, not only are they antidotally dizzy, but they are nested within a community that's also not compelling and pushing them to be the better versions of themselves. And when you have an enabling system like this, exactly what is the incentive to damn change then? And all y'all like Funky Dineva until y'all don't. Because when he dragging the hell out of Chloe Bailey and calling her every bit of Freddy Krueger and unattractive and corny as hell because she decided to defend her sister, it was time to cancel him. When he's on top of black women's motherfucking neck and talking about how nappy and knotted and unruly Blue Ivy's hair is as a 7-month-old, it was time to get rid of his ass. When he talking about your pussy and your coochie and how he would rather be a privileged black man than to be a black woman because women don't hold no social equity for anybody to have to be jealous of their motherfucking ass, then it's time, baby, to put the crime scene tape around Funky Dineva ass. But as long as y'all not on the direct receiving end of his foolishness, then it's go Diva, go Dineva, go Dineva, go. Baby, you gotta toe the line from the entry to the exit, boo. You got to be consistent when you are in the business of calling yourself holding someone accountable, and you can't pick and choose and cherry pick, bitch, when it's time to rise up and when it's time to sit the fuck down. And when I be seeing a lot of these fucking lunatics and their pendulum swinging from right to left, girl, taking y'all on a dizzy ass roller coaster ride, all I can do sometimes is sit back and think about how y'all contribute to the dizziness of it all. And in my mind, that's why I be like, girl, it ain't no victims in this. Because when the shoe was on the other foot, boo, it was all good. He was Gotham's hero. But when the shoe seemingly doesn't fit, you ain't got no problem with another bitch wearing it. I'm going to keep that same energy whether I am on the receiving end or not, because it's about standing on business more so than it is about standing on narrative and favoritism and only concerning myself where it feels it benefits me. Funky Dineva's behavior was uncalled for, but speaking of uncalled for, let's listen, because he's about to do what was completely unnecessary and what was completely uncalled for.
There is just a house Negro vibe I'm getting from you when it relates to this story, and it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me feel like you are more concerned about your acceptance in your white circles than you are about what's going on, because it just really feels like, and not that black people are monolithic and that we should all be on the same page, but it really does feel like the overwhelming majority of the black community is on the same page, and you are somewhere over here trying to provide as much cover as you can for these white boys.
Wait. In his defense, I think that, hold on. I think in his defense that he is...
Did he say to the house ninja thing? Rumors, I kind of missed it because I was looking at the chat. Did he say it already?
No.
Oh, he hasn't said it? Okay.
Journalist hat. But Dineva asked you to take off your journalist hat. So anyway, I don't want to speak for you. I just wanted to go ahead.
I want to know what cover. That's not damn wait, don't jump. And then it's kind of like we get a little more, and it may not be for you, the ace in the hole. Then it's kind of like, it just feels like just a little push to kind of discredit what it is we're kind of hearing. What we are hearing, whether we're able to make out every single word or not, what we are hearing is y'all ass know what the hell happened in the minimum. Y'all ass know what the hell happened to that damn boy. Okay, and I have been wrong before, but Daniel, this is not new. Okay, go ahead. I mean, history. Because I am not, unlike you, I'm not drawing a conclusion. Innocent or that they're guilty until we have more information that until we do.
Hey, if money is tight right now and you need some help.
Did Don edit it out of the clip? Because it should have been up in here somewhere. You have to
I'm sending you the clip with it.
Go back a little bit. Somebody said I gotta go back.
Interpretation, because we have to be, we're kind of hearing.
Dineva asked you to take off your journalist hat. So anyway, I don't want to speak for you. I just want.
Oh, here it is.
House Negro vibe.
Here it is. My God. Here it is.
After 5, happy hour, brother to brother, informal type stuff. There's just a level of emotion and concern I'm missing from you. There really is. Like there is just
here it is.
A House Negro vibe I'm getting from you when it relates to this story, and it makes me uncomfortable. Look at Dawn's face. Even Dawn knows that something spooky just happened, baby. Look at Dawn. Even Dawn knows. Spooked and nervous. All right, so let's get into it. Aromas. I called Funky Dineva ghetto. Before I did my commentary, I was trying to figure out, I said, girl, what is a good adjective? And ghetto just seemed to have fit the motherfucking bunyan. And I was trying to go out of my way to find another word, because I'm just like, okay, I can't call him ghetto, and he calling Daniel a house ninja. But this is ghetto! And by ghetto, I felt like I did a great job at insinuating what my definition of ghetto was in the context of speaking about Dineva's behavior. I don't think that ghetto is a look. I don't even think that ghetto is slang. I don't think ghetto is a fashion. I don't even think ghetto is an environment. When I say ghetto, I'm talking about the stankness of your vibration. When I say ghetto, I'm talking about the gutter snipe from right up out of the hood on your shit. When I say ghetto, I'm talking about the emotional immaturity. I'm talking about the inability to emotionally regulate. I'm talking about the inability to conduct yourself and to read the motherfucking room and to match energy equivalent. When I say ghetto, I ain't talking about an environment. When I say ghetto, I ain't talking about a look. When I say ghetto, I ain't talking about verbiage. I'm talking about behavior rooted in being Nephi rather than Nefertaria, because I call Nephi a bitch. I call Nephi a bitch, and I got a snipe from right up out of the hood. And look, if we gotta talk about it, let's motherfucking talk about it, because I also find it hypocritical that how you gonna have an issue with me calling Funky a ghetto, but have no equal smoking energy and don't have and hold that same sentiment for him calling a black man having a civil discord with him a house ninja, simply because Daniel wasn't willing to tell him exactly what he wanted to hear and the way he wanted to hear it, even though he still stated that there seems to be something very spoiled in the buttermilk. There seems to be something rotten in the fish. There seems to be a foul smell amidst us. However, I've also have access to conflicting information because unlike you, Dineva, I'm not just a motherfucking YouTuber and a commentary who sits in my fucking basement and hoops and motherfucking holler allegedly and possibly before or after a bump of something white to my nostrils. I'm actually a fucking journalist. I'm actually talking to eyewitnesses and people who were actually there and on the scene. And what I'm being told conflicts with the narrative that you're trying to drive about what you believe you extracted from a cleaned up audio. And all I'm saying is that we need to continue to
take our time and be methodical and meticulous in our seeking of the truth. I'm not caping for the Horn Island 30, and I'm not also necessarily ruling out that there's no foul play in Nolan Wells' death. I'm just saying that there's clearly an open investigation, and none of us have enough to still know what the fuck exactly objectively happened. And because Funky Dineva, that wasn't good enough for him, and because he feels Daniel runs in white spaces, that's okay, baby. Both of us run in white spaces. What Kaya said you was bumping off the end of that bar stool was white. In the words of Nikki, baby, it might be a different type of right, because you niggas ain't living right. But nonetheless, it's a white. Both of us move in white spaces, baby. When you're at the edge of the street corner, girl, making transactions, okay? We both are engaging in white spaces. A different type of white, but white nonetheless. So between me moving in white spaces and me being a journalist rather than an emotional, sensationalizing commentator, I'm a house ninja, even though I've also affirmed your perspective. And then to press the gas even further, because I really felt like Dineva felt he could get away with this behavior to Daniel, because first of all, he know that Daniel ain't gonna give him that work. I noticed that Dineva does not engage in banter with people who can spin the block with him. That's why he thought he could pick on Claudia. It's why he also, the bully in him, thought he could play those games with Daniel. And he's right, because despite all that he took Daniel through, Daniel still sat there and ate it, just like Dineva expected that he would. But I find it interesting that Dineva had all that smoke and called Daniel essentially a raccoon, but just the day before Funky got on the show, Don,
feel like you are more concerned about your acceptance.
Don had Charles from TMZ on the show, and this is what happened here. Check this out. Oh, I got it. Oh, where the fuck is audio? Hold on.
Their friends have said, because why would they be talking about Nolan? He said that once they left the island, they weren't thinking about Nolan anymore because they were dealing with the crisis of the boat. So that would be weird if what we're hearing is someone saying Nolan. And the part about that, is he dead, I think it's just a theory, don't know because it's not on the boat.
Now pay attention to Don.
What we're hearing is them saying, is it dead? Meaning the pump or the motor, because they couldn't get the motor started for a while. And you heard him describing how the water was coming over. That could be a reference.
I don't know if it was the motor or they couldn't get the bilge pump.
The pump, yeah.
Right. But they also couldn't, there was a part where they couldn't start the motors because there was so much, and that's why that's why they were calling the tow company, because they couldn't start the motors. They were just there taking on water.
Okay. Charles, this is another.
Okay, so then here it is. You had Don participating fully in an alternative theory that really isn't supported by the cleaned up audio nor the transcripts that the audio engineer presented alongside the independent transcripts that Nancy Grace also provided when she had her engineers to clean it up and translated the same thing. And yet Don, who's heard the cleaned up audio and is pushing and pedestalizing the cleaned up audio, even played the Instagram video from the black engineer who cleaned up the audio, explaining what she did and how she separated the track and all of that, to clean it up. But it's sitting here allowing Charles to say on his platform in front of 22,000 plus people that what's being heard is them talking about the fuel pump or the motor, which is what warranted me to be like, how the fuck can that make sense? Who refers to a fuel pump or a motor or a transmission or an engine or a tire or a gear or a water pump as he and her? Humans don't use human pronouns to describe inanimate objects. If you had a spare tire and needed an extra tire, you wouldn't go to the mechanic and say, I need him changed. You wouldn't even use words like killed. If you had a flat tire, you wouldn't say, hey, my tire was killed. You would say, hey, my tire is flat. I need to replace my tire. So what Charles is saying doesn't even make sense. They're obviously referring, look, I would have been able to better accept that Charles is willing to say, it's clear they're referring to a person, but I'm not sure if they're referring to Nolan, even though Nolan's name apparently is also said and yelled along with Bart's name, which is very audible. And yet Don allowed Charles to get away with his narrative. He sat there, okay, know what you mean? Like, he should have tugged on Charles' wig and say, Charles, no. Are y'all on payroll here for the Mississippi DA? Charles, this was an opportunity for Don to set the record straight and say, Charles, you would have to be reaching for stars, UFOs, Milky Ways, and galaxies in order to believe that they are referring to and reacting to a fuel pump and or a motor. Why would they be using terms like KILLED? Why would they be using terms like DEAD? Why would they be yelling Bart's name? Why would they be using, is he dead? You really did it. Is he okay? Like, these are human pronouns. Sugar. A better argument is, well, it seems that they're talking about a person for sure. Now, who they're talking about, I don't know, because there are reports that he was still on the island long after Horn Island 30 had been peeled off and went back home to the mainland. So, bringing us back to Funky Dineva, you got your foot on Daniel's neck because he didn't tell you what you want to hear, but I know you want to dare try Don Lemon like that, because really the truth is everything that Funky felt he could say and surmise and summarize about Daniel, honestly, is an argument and a dissertation that he can copy and paste onto Don Lemon as well. You're accusing him of shucking and jiving. Well, Don Lemon shucked and jived in that Discord with Charles from TMZ. You're accusing Daniel of shucking and jiving and being more focused on being accepted within white adjacent spaces, but Don Lemon has moved in white corporate America his entire career and also married white while positioning himself as a black revolutionist. So if you really a badass bitch and you really want to get into the thick of it, don't pick on who you think is pickable on the panel. Go for the head nigga in charge, bitch. I want to see how dirty the D gets. I want to see how bad the bitch is. Don't pick on who you think has the lowest social equity on the panel, but that same sentiment can be applied to some of the head niggas in charge, but you know better because you know what you're doing and you know that you were isolated and singling Daniel out in order to have a moment. You know that you were virtue signaling by using Daniel when what you said and judged Daniel about could have been also said and applied to Don Lemon as well. Let's talk about it. Anywho, let me get my moderator up in this bitch. Rumors? You got some input, boo?
I'm just sitting back with my plate, my fork, my spoon, and my napkin. And baby, I'm just waiting for you because you cooking, baby. I'm waiting for you to go on and just serve. So for me, what is quite interesting, when you first started playing the video with Funky, Don, Daniel, and the rest of the panelists, did you catch Funky say, with all due disrespect?
Yep, I did. I sure did.
So for me, along with that, because I didn't catch it yesterday. That part, and then with some of the Funky bunch, if it's true what they were saying, in the live yesterday was that Funky basically said he was going to get Daniel. Like he couldn't wait to have that discord, right? And so this whole the whole controversy of you using the term ghetto, because I offered a different name, a different word rather, in the chat. I said, you know, for those that have a problem with the word ghetto, here's an alternative, uncouth. This to me, beyond the circumstances of what happened to Nolan, this whole case with Nolan, it touched more on a deeper level, which is why I brought it up to you. It is more deeper. We have been discussing forever now ways to unite our community. What can we do in this current economy, climate? How can we, you know what I mean, become more united? What can we do to combat the system? You know, just come out of this, not even survive, but do better. And this goes back to my talking points, because even as I was reading the chat right now, there are people that are in the chat attacking you. We have to get out of this space of thinking that we are all one-minded, because we're not one-minded. We don't all have the same thought in how to do things, how to move, and how to maneuver, right? I'm okay with us having a different thoughts of opinion. What you were saying in your commentary yesterday, you actually agreed with Funky's talking point up until the point when he called Daniel a house nigger.
Yeah.
That is completely unprofessional. And it was unwarranted. When I went back and I viewed and I listened to what Daniel was saying, he was annoying the fuck out of me as well. But I wasn't annoyed by his talking points per se. I was annoyed by his posture. It was very antagonistic to me. However, everyone's not going to think alike. He did not say anything to me that a journalist would not say, right? Unless you are Nancy Grace, which she's not a journalist, because I think that we need to understand the difference in people that do have platforms that do talk about these type of topics, such as social injustices, you know, criminal acts and things of that nature. Some of these people are former attorneys, former police officers. Some of them are community activists, but they're not journalists. And so what I've seen a lot, not all straight across the board, but a lot of times, journalists do have a way to remain biased, I mean non-biased, in their commentary when they're talking about things like this, right? But as a bigger issue for me, I'm like, this goes back to my talking points in a few other lives that we did over last week or over the weekend, when I was saying, you know, everyone is not going to think everybody's going to have the same strategy plan, tactical plan. Everybody doesn't have the same vision and goal, and that is okay. We have to stop dismissing the way that everyone does, unless it is causing direct harm, whether it's short term or long term. But to attack, like to literally go there, that's something he could have did behind the scenes, because it's not a good look for us to attack each other publicly, in my opinion, in front of every other nationality and race of people. We have enough of that going on behind the scenes. And to be honest, we have enough of that going on publicly as well. And it's time for us to scale back. Yeah, that he could have had that conversation with him behind the scenes. That just wasn't the place for him to do that, in my opinion. And I have a strong desire to shake our community up so that we can just stop attacking each other publicly. What we do, it used to be a thing. They used to be said, what goes on in my house stays in my house. And you know, I could defend you publicly, but privately I'm gonna dig in your ass. That's what should have been done.
And
that's what should have been done.
Upon that, and what's funny about that is the criticism of me calling Funky ghetto for calling Daniel a house ninja unnecessarily is completely null and voided once Funky Dineva turned around and fake apologized, because that fake apology was Dineva also asserting that I'm wrong what I did was out of order, which touches and agrees with CTV's commentary. So then what the fuck is the problem with CTV's commentary? Now, had he not apologized and he held on to it and said, you can take that to the motherfucking bank if you feel a way about it, then it's a matter of perspective. But once he fake apologized, that corroborated whatever my criticism was of what him doing being unnecessary. And he could feel that Daniel is a raccoon. It just wasn't necessary and appropriate to assert that in that conversation, because a lot of us was actually really enjoying the dialogue and was enjoying kind of the seemingly oppositional approaches that they both kind of had, where Funky is kind of more polarized with one narrative about the situation, while Daniel was seemingly, you know, making sure that there's a nice middle ground because there's no full absolutes here and everything. And baby, I was in my bag. I was enjoying it. And then when the shit got ghetto, I was like, I just lost all the zeal. And then it became about that. And then the chat started focusing on that. And it took everybody completely out of the motherfucking moment. And the thing about the people who feel like Funky Dineva called it for what it was to what me and Rumors is saying is that there's a time and a place. And even Funky Dineva said, you know what? I could have said that behind your back rather than saying it to your face, because it wasn't fucking necessary. And not knowing that there's a time and a place for everything is kind of weird, seeming that it's a bunch of other adults rooting on a bad behaving ass adult who also don't understand that there's a time and a place. Bitch, none of y'all was sitting y'all on y'all motherfucking jobs and dare call y'all superior or call y'all co-worker out of their name and use the ad hominem attack. So why the fuck are you rooting on Dineva, who's clearly trying to expand outside of his own bubble, and encourage him to behave in a way that's not inducive to Don Lemon's platform? Because Don Lemon platform, he don't run his platform the way that maybe a Piers Morgan does, where them niggas go bonkers on Piers Morgan's panels. Don Lemon is a bit more tailored. His shows are a bit more family friendly, a more palatable, even to where your 13-year-old, your 12-year-old could watch the show, etc. For the most part, he tries to keep it generally PG-13. And this is about being able to have effective conversation without the need for the trashy reality TV throwing glass and throwing hands type of scenario. There's a way to have passionate, charismatic conversation that's filled with color and that's humanized and that just littered in personality without having to be a ratchet ass bitch. And then people may say, oh, well, CTV, right. You told me that people were saying in my chat, I didn't see it, because I definitely would have tugged on toothpaste wigs and do-rags had I seen it, that people were saying, well, CTV, you ghetto. Yeah, bitch, I am. In my space, though, I'm ghetto. In my house, I'm ghetto. On Consciouztv platform where I'm not interacting with another person who's trying to have a civil discord with me, I am ghetto. Now, show me where CTV has been ghetto outside of the CTV brand. Show me where I've been in somebody else's house and somebody was being well behaved and not escalated the situation unnecessarily. Show me. Run the beautiful being footage. When I'm in my space, I'm going to be authentic to me and do whatever the fuck I want to do. If I want to cuss like a sailor, if I want to walk around this bitch butt naked, if I want to motherfucking be raw, unfiltered, unadulterated, run a PGR motherfucking show, that's what the fuck I'm going to do. But show me where I've been outside of my firmament, where I've been outside of the four walls, bitch, of the flat earth, and have unnecessarily, unwarrantedly escalated a situation that could have maintained a sophisticated posture about itself as long as two people were in agreement to keep it civil and to keep it about the facts and to keep it about the story and to keep it about the context, etc. What I'm calling out is the fact that it was completely unnecessary for him to have caught that young black professional a fucking raccoon to his face in front of all his peers, because if y'all didn't see how calculated that predatory shit was as well, he had all that time and banter with Daniel before Don led up the Avengers. fucking even intentionally waited till all of their peers got up on that panel and then put him through that humiliation ritual. And the issue is there was no context for it. There's a lot of ways to get Daniel to consider some things that may be in his unconscious if you do feel like he's whitewashed, if you do feel like he is white adjacent centered. There's a lot of ways to do that professionally. Calling him a house ninja was crazy work. And Funky Dineva know better. And that's why he had to issue an apology. But let's also, before I hand it back to Rumors, talk about the apology. The only real reason why Funky Dineva really apologized wasn't even really because he had a true reckoning. It was because, girl, the lemon drop started flaming his ass up and being like, girl, we was with you up until the house ninja. The only people who was rooting Funky Dineva on in that low down ad hominem bullshit was his raggedy ratchet ass Funky Dineva bunch, because he's cultivated that type of an audience for his brand. But the lemon drops were like, hold up, girl. Hold up. This was unnecessary. Now that that was unnecessary. We with you on everything. But you done crossed the line. You done took it too far. You done took it out of this great debate space. And now it has a filth. And it's a thriftiness on this dialogue now. There's a discount code on this dialogue now. That this feels cheap and it feels belittling and degrading, and this is messed up. And when Funky Dineva saw the lemon drops flaming his ass up, that's when he pandered. But then, and we know that it was insincere, because right after he apologized, he said, girl, I'm not really taking back what I said. I just take back the fact that I said it to you. I should have said it behind your back. And then followed that up with, bitch, I want to strangle you to death. So, girl, miss me. Go ahead, Rumors.
No, I mean, I don't know what more can be said. I've seen you in spaces, the manosphere. I'll never forget the time you and Reckless was in the manosphere and you had us come over there to support you and them people. And they were so disrespectful. And we know how you go. Like, we know how you get down. We know how you defend yourself. We know how you stand on business. And I watch you carry yourself with such grace and decorum, stand on business, but you never one time, you did not fall, bend, or even like conflate to their tactics. You just didn't do it. And I don't know, it has to be age, because I mean, I don't want to be coming off hypocritical. Y'all know I can go there, but I haven't gone there in so long. I remember when I first started coming to your platform and coming up on the panels, I was just as ghetto as Funky, like probably more ghetto than Funky Dineva in my commentary and being combative and all of that. I'm a natural debater. I was on debate teams and everything, but I don't know. At some point I had to scale back, look at myself, and just do things differently, because you're not getting your message across doing all of that. Now, there's a time and a place. I don't ever want to tell somebody how to articulate and how to use their passion. This didn't feel like passion to me. Like, the truth of the matter is, yes, we all have our assumptions and belief just with the little bit of information that has been given out, but there hasn't been enough information given out. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I'm not quick to jump down in my thoughts. I'm not quick to jump down Daniel's throat, because nothing that he was saying in that particular live with Funky on the panel, there was nothing that he was saying to me that was like, okay, unreasonable. Wait till more information come out. Okay. You know, giving hypotheticals or, you know, coming up with, because we're all basically doing it. We're all doing the same thing. It's just that our thoughts behind it are not the same, but we're all doing the same thing. So I don't understand the frustration that we have as human beings when people don't think the way we think, move the way we move, when it comes to an opinion that is not going to cause harm and injury to another person. We really have to get out of that mindset that we say it all the time. We're not a monolith, but our actions show something different when people don't agree with what we think, what we believe. We just have to stop doing that as a race of people, because we tend to do it a lot. And yes, we're going to all have opinions and disagree, which we all know this. But to sit back and want to like hold somebody else to a standard that we don't hold for ourselves is fucking insane. Now, somebody might call me ghetto for just saying fucking. It wouldn't.
I was going to say that I think that people like Funky who have a lot of career and life baggage, addiction, you know, he's had his checks garnished because he ran off with somebody else's washer and dryer and damaged a property they extended to him. He's lost professional opportunities, etc. I think that there's something about Daniel seemingly young, spunky, outgoing, and like the sanitized nature of Daniel that low-key makes Funky feel like he maybe is being looked down upon and judged, even though that's not what Daniel was doing. I think that in Funky's unconscious, he wanted to humble Daniel, which is a projection of Funky's own insecurities. I think that there's something that may piss him off or that may arouse his shame about his own self in how Daniel seemingly got his shit together. He's in the prime. He's building his career. He's a working professional, and he hasn't had to talk shit. He hasn't had to browbeat. He hasn't had to throw his friends under the bus. He hasn't had to use a crack pipe to get there. And there's something about that conservativeness and that professional hood that just pisses off a ghetto bitch like Funky, who is going to project his pain body onto Daniel and then blame Daniel for why he's attempting to bully and target him, when really it's his own broken psychology and his own woundedness that's actually creating this boogeyman that doesn't really exist under his motherfucking bed. Fucking Dineva just has a pattern of conduct. It's just and the same shit happened with Claudia when the text messages came out that Funky and Al Reynolds was bantering about how Claudia got this new Benz and this house, and you know there was this hating from the parking lot. And that's why he went so specifically hard on Claudia, because Claudia was a symbol of something that reflects back to Dineva, that makes him look at the way he judges himself and the way he really low-key feels about himself. And Dineva has, if you really listen, because see, bitch, I'm a Scorpio. I got a natural nosiness, aka a natural observant spirit, bitch. I listen deeply and intently to the shit that people say and how they motherfucking move. And it was just a few months ago when Funky Dineva had an honest moment, and he said, you know what, y'all? What are y'all secretly dealing with that y'all haven't said out loud? He went first and said, you know, he didn't know he was saying it, but he basically spoke about how he suffers from imposter syndrome. He said, you know, something that I've been secretly battling with is if I'm good enough. And then he used his current relationship as an example of that. He said, you know, sometimes I find myself sitting around asking, damn, am I good enough? Do this man really want me? Is this man using me? Is he really with me, you know, for the right reasons? And I find myself, you know, going down the spiral of questioning, you know, my worth and my personal value. And he was like, we like, what, 5 years into our relationship at this point, and I'm still kind of just as insecure 5 years later and still unclear about rather my man loves me and questioning his motives as if we just started dating 2 weeks ago. I said, baby, this bitch broke. This bitch is broken. This bitch is broken. This bitch is deeply, now I already know that, But I found it interesting that he, on some level, has demonstrated a self-awareness enough to also know that the clock isn't tick-tocking how it should. Now, the thing about self-awareness is that there's a hierarchy in self-awareness. You can be self enough to know that you fucked up, but not committed enough to healing to actually do something about it. So there's a lot of like narcissistic people who know that they're narcissistic. They know they fucked up. They know they're manipulative and triangulating, and they use the fuck out of motherfucking people, and they play all type of motherfucking whole games. But they ain't gonna do shit about it. They know they got a bad temperament. They know they impatient. They know they violent as hell. They know that they'll yield to fucking a bitch up before they yield to having a sensible, rational conversation to get to the bottom of some things. But they won't do shit about it. It's clear that he got some type of self-awareness on some level, girl, that the check engine light is on, but he not going to pull over and do the work to make that car drive at its most effective level. And as a result of him not doing that work, his poison seeps up and shows up always at a time where he has an opportunity to actually thrive and to elevate. You know, the old saying that you can't run and hide from your demons, that you can run and hide from your problems, baby, but you can't run and hide from your demons. So you're running with your problems. You're running alongside your problems, girl. You're in good company when you think you're running through denial and through deflection and through avoidance. No, ma'am, you're running right alongside the source of those problems. And while you may change the outer manifestation of the problem, you're carrying the source, you're carrying the disease with you. So the symptoms, it's just a matter of time before they show up, baby, in your new house, metaphorically speaking, in your new hairdo, metaphorically speaking, in your new group, metaphorically speaking. And so, you know, I have concern that Miss Funky just is going to continue to let her intrusive thoughts and that the demons that she knows she's wrestling with continue to get the best of her. And I don't know why she would not be using any of her coin to really sit down with a quality psychotherapy and get to the bottom of some of those psycho-ass issues. But I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know, you're either going to do the work or the work's going to do you. Period, point blank. It's just that simple. For all the people that...
Go ahead.
Okay. For all the people that, you know, we're here for, you know, the name calling, you know, they're like-minded people. But we just got to we know what to do. We just got to change our behavior and our antics. Some of the talking points were, oh, you know, nobody says it when it's on in the white spaces on their platform. You hear what they say, what they do, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm like, but we're constantly pointing out the fact that they're the problem. So why would we want to be them? And let's not forget, which is probably going to lead. I've been holding back some of my talking points anyway, because it's going to probably lead over into the bonnet conversation. You know, Black people, we've always, as a collective, been very, I'm gonna say modest, but we've had a lot of decorum that we've illustrated throughout the years, and we allowed our culture to be stolen, ghettoed up, and now we've conformed to that. We've conformed to their standard of our culture. And to think that just because I can't, it bothers me so much when people say, you know, anyone that speaks with a high-pitched voice, that speaks using proper, when I say proper English, I mean proper English, are being white. And it's like, do you guys hear yourselves? Like, no, actually being ghetto, quote unquote, what you guys depict as ghetto is actually being white. Like we are have always I remember looking at pictures years ago from when I was a kid, seeing pictures of my grandmother, grandfathers, and all of them, how they would get dressed up, suited and booted just to go to whatever the downtown area, whether it was to go to the doctor, pay a bill, or whatever the case may be, knew how to conform in public spaces, not show they tell us. And it was a 360. We allowed them to hijack our culture, ratchet it the fuck up, and then we conform to that. And to think that it is okay. I'm all for self-expression by all means, whatever makes you feel good. Again, long as it don't cause injury to someone else. But to really be so brainwashed to think having class, aka performing and showing, illustrating decorum. So y'all gotta pick a battle. Because one minute y'all got a problem with Sukihana, right? And the Cardi B's. Well, I'm gonna just stick to black people. The Sukihanas and the Young Miami for the songs and all of that. And then the next minute, you got an issue with you know, you don't have an issue, but you support a moment like this, a ratchet ass, ghetto ass moment that was unnecessary. It's like, pick a battle. Which one y'all? What is gonna be? Either we gonna walk around acting a fucking fool like the rest of them, the white counterparts, or we're going to actually embrace having class, showing decorum, having emotional intelligence, knowing how to regulate our emotions. Because trust and believe. I know we human. We're not exempt from flaws and faults. However, at Funky's big age, at my big age, at Conscious big, and some of y'all big ages, you should be able to regulate your emotions enough, no matter how much you are annoyed. You're in a space to have a debate, because that's what Don is doing. That was the whole purpose of the panel. That's what you're supposed to have, the debate. But to get to the point, and I say only people that don't have emotional intelligence, that cannot regulate their emotions, always hit below the belt and start and go for name calling. He was so frustrated that he could not articulate himself beyond the posture and the fact that Daniel wasn't saying what he wanted him to say, that he resulted to name calling on a public space, in a public space setting that is not of his own, as a guest. How annoyed would you be when you, like, I know I have done it in the past. I've invited people to my house, and when I don't give a damn if the person was provoked or not, you don't show your ass in my house because I don't show mine in yours. And if somebody annoys you that much, and you can come, if you can't come to me and say respectfully, your guest, your friend, your family, whoever it is, they bother me, they annoy me, for me to come and you know, resolve the issue, then just fucking leave. I don't see where the whole name calling, I don't see where it was called for. And I'm off on that.
It just wasn't. It wasn't. A lot of people felt how Funky felt, but a lot of people knew that that's a statement to better keep to yourself, and or to say during pillow talk with the boo, with the bae, with the fam. But it was uncalled for in that situation. It was really unnecessary. We're not going to pivot in this live, you guys, to the bonnet conversation. I'm actually, because I don't want this live to be super long. So what I am going to do is I'm going to drop the link for anybody who has a comment to make about me using the word ghetto to describe Funky Dineva, or if you have, you know, thoughts about him calling Daniel a house ninja and all of that. The link is there. We're not going to be here all night because I got to come back to y'all, because I want to talk about Monique and bonnets and pajamas and HBCUs and all of that. And we can also have a town hall about that too. So if you come in, you got to come now. Okay? I'm going to drop the link again. If you guys want to come up, we got Todd in the building. What's going on, Todd?
I'm doing pretty good. As usual, excellent commentary provided by the King and Rumors and Tea. Yes, you guys are exactly right. Because what we should be doing, we should be coming together about these things. And it was perfectly logical for him to have the conclusions that he had, because that's his perspective, right? But for Funky to get up there and call that man out his name, okay? right there on Don Lemon's show in front of thousands and thousands of people, man, that was uncalled for. And respect to Daniel for not going completely in, okay? All right, because I think that could have been ugly, as I heard from the King himself. You would have called it everything but a child of God right there. And that certainly would have went viral, right? Like, we ain't gonna talk about you pinching your nose and all kinds of other stuff. I was like, oh my God. And now
Let me tell you something, Todd. If I'm in somebody else's house and I'm there to do a job, I ain't gonna start it. But bitch, I would have absolutely and utterly finished it. It would have been a tombstone on the end of that motherfucking live stream by the time we were motherfucking done. I wouldn't have started it. I wouldn't have lit the match. But baby, I would have been the end of the story. Funky would have been the beginning, and I would have been the end. He would have been the alpha. I would have been the omega.
Right?
Let me tell you. Go ahead, Todd.
I will say this, and I'm gonna drop down. Yes, had he done that to me, he would have got every bit of that Scorpio energy as well, right? I would have went completely in, right? That could have been ugly, but just kudos to keeping it cordial and keeping it debate informative for Mr. Daniels. And just thank God Almighty. And there's a God in heaven. That's how we know there's a God in heaven, right? That the king of Rumors and Tea wasn't on that goddamn panel. So that could have been ugly, okay?
Fellow Scorpio, me and fucking nigga would have tore Don Lemon set the fuck up. That man would have lost all his damn sponsors. He would have had to resubmit an application to CNN and beg for his old damn job because there would have been nothing left of the equity on Don Lemon's platform, baby, after all the low down dirty shit that would have went down on that damn live stream, baby. Had it been me. That's why I said in my live stream, I said, oh, Daniel, you better than me, girl. You're well trained. Okay, baby. I ain't there yet. I'm only grown enough to not start it. I ain't grown enough to not finish it. So I still got work to do.
In the immortal words of the Conscious crew before I go, right? Now, granted, I don't have any pearls, but I certainly would have been clutching them motherfuckers, okay? I can only tell you what I know, not what I suspect, okay? You guys have a wonderful day. I love all of y'all, and I'll be here. Oh, my God, look at the king superplexing that man off the tallest thing he can find. Oh, my God.
Oh, period. Bye, Todd. What's going on, Trey? Welcome to the platform.
What's up? What's up, Conscious Rumors?
Hey.
Thank y'all. Y'all said everything that I was thinking. I did want to add that in the beginning of the video, Don, before he in Funky's introduction, is where Don actually played the video where Funky was saying that he wanted to come on and talk shit about Daniel or eat him up. Which, in my opinion, I put all the blame on Don. Yes, Funky and Dineva was very unprofessional, but Don allowed it. He opened up the door for Funky to come in there and act like Funky's going to act when he feels like acting like that. I do believe that Funky and
so
Daniel...
you're telling me that this was really premeditated?
Correct.
Okay, so can you tell me, what was the
it's in the very beginning of the video.
Funky had heard some of Daniel's commentary and had made a comment that he wanted to address it, or him and Daniel had already had like a phase 1 exchange about
Now, I actually watched this video, but from my understanding, what I do know is Funky has been on the show before talking about Nolan Wells, but I believe it was something that he watched and he wanted to reply to Daniel about that. But it's in the beginning of this video that you have up here. But I truly believe Funky and Daniel were coming from the same space and the place. I believe that both of them want true, genuine justice for Nolan Wells. The issue I have is, why are you calling this man? What really kills me is that we do all of this talking about wanting to protect Nolan. We want to find out the killer. We want justice. And this is what you're here to talk about. And yet, and still, you go all the way out the way, pivot from the real conversation to call this man a house Negro. It's so unprofessional. It's rude. It's very crass. And Daniel didn't do anything to deserve that. Quite honestly, he didn't say anything wrong, in my opinion. And I'm really sad to see that Don just sat over there and sniggled like a damn chess cat and really didn't say nothing. But yeah, that's really all I had to say.
Holding mother accountable for what happened in her house.
Oh, most definitely.
But he know what he was doing, because Don had said the day before that he's trying to create this bridge between Wendy Williams style content, commentary energy, and the political thing. I guess he's trying to expand his audience too, and so he was doing a trial and test by using that Daniel Funk and Dineva situation. I don't think he thought he was gonna Go ahead.
Right.
Go.
I don't have a problem with him doing that type of or trying to veer off into that type of entertainment. However, we don't need the panelists fighting each other.
No, but if he was going to, if that's the goal, then he should have had someone that fits that, you know what I'm saying, that type of genre of commentary. Clearly, Daniel wasn't out there. I can imagine in my head as you guys were talking, and even when Todd was up here, I was in my head like I can imagine the fucking reads that Daniel was given once they got offline.
Oh, baby.
Daniel, don't get it twisted. Daniel looked like he can read the hell down too. He looks like his reads will actually be like more, you know what I'm saying, gut wrenching, like not necessarily ghetto, but he look like he can read a motherfucking book. Like he'll read you down like an encyclopedia. So, don't be sleeping or whatever. I just, it just wasn't necessary. And I don't know about Funky. I don't know where Funky is trying to go as far as his career, because I'm gonna be quite honest. You can stay true to yourself, right? But when you go into certain spaces that are professional, you just have to learn how to tame that spirit in you or whatever. The moment didn't call for that, and it just is what it is.
Absolutely. Any other talking points, Trey?
Oh no, thank you guys, and I'll see y'all a little bit later.
All right, boo. That was our Trey. We got our Royce child. What's going on, Royce? And happy belated birthday, Leo.
Hey, yeah. Hey, Rumors. Hey,
happy belated birthday, boo.
Thank you, hon. Thank y'all.
Hey, baby.
Yes, thank y'all. I'm a child. I'm more of an old hoe than I am now, child. I'm a good old 42. And let me tell y'all something. I don't look no damn 42 either, baby. I look like a luscious.
These young hoes are running their money, honey. Period.
Okay.
Yes.
So we see me and CTV and Rumors, we drink water over here. See, y'all are Gen Z people. Y'all be aged like milk and avocados because y'all don't drink no damn water. We drink water over here. Okay. See, that's why y'all be aging. Y'all talk about that lady Caroline Lovett up there at the White House talking about she 28. Girl, please. When was you 28? 28, girl, please. Y'all be looking old in the face. But
they age like raisins. What are you talking about?
Okay, these kids, child. I'm like, oh, when we was y'all age, we didn't look like that. Now we look better. The millennials look better at this age. At this age that we did 20 years ago, and y'all 20 years younger than us.
Exactly, child. We turned 21 and stayed 21.
Okay,
we turned 21 and stayed 21. My God.
Period. Okay. And let me tell you something. Todd said that because I'm about to roast motherfucking Don Lemon ass down to the ground because Don should have chin checked Dineva down to the damn ground. Let me tell you something. I'd be damned if I'm gonna allow a crackhead to read me on national television like the way Dineva did Daniel like that. He didn't have to do that. And then I get where Daniel is coming from. Daniel is Don's DC correspondent. And before that, because I do watch Don Lemon's show in the morning time, not so much in the evening, but definitely in the morning time. And Daniel was saying like he comes from network television. He comes from mainstream television, mainstream media. He is media trained. He went to school for journalism. So he's going to deal with the facts. He's not going to fly off the handle like Dineva doing a lot of other commentators. Just be all emotional or flying off the whim of a handle, saying this, that, and the third just to get clicks and views. He just going to deal with facts. And like you said, CTV, he sees some ladies having all these litigations and having to pay other celebrities money. He don't want to be taking his Don Lemon checks down to a damn celebrity. Okay, he don't want to do that. So he don't want to deal with them racist kids and these judges' parents suing him down to the ground. He just want to deal with the facts. And also Daniel, he also is a correspondent. He has to deal with them crazy ass, crunchy ass, con artist ass congressmen in Capitol Hill every single day. So he got to put on that, like you said, that Maya Angelou chin I mean, that chin is chinning. He got to pull that chin up because all the lies in the seat coming out these damn conferences. He needs something to shield all that mess coming towards him. So I mean, I was disappointed in Dineva, and I was way more disappointed in Don, because Don just sitting there all like had his, like he should have showed his face, looking like he was like happy that Daniel was getting red. And like Todd said before, this, I feel as though Don set Daniel up, because like he said, this is what the first time before Dineva and was on the show, on Don's show, him and Daniel was going at it, but it wasn't like, it was still kind of civil. But I guess, you know, then Dineva went on his show, started to go in, and this when this tape came in, that's when he said, well, when I get back, when I see Don, Daniel Grimes, I'm gonna read his motherfucking head in. And then what Don do? Bring his ass in to read the girl down to the ground. Don is a messy ass queen. Cause y'all remember, back in the day, they used to call Don what Dineva called Daniel.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
Y'all remember that? Look, y'all look. I'm an old hoe. You can't fool me. Okay? You remember Conscious? They used to drag back in the Freddie, like I put in the comments, back in the Freddie Gray days, during the Freddie Gray riots. They used to drag down to the ground, calling him all type of house niggas and everything else, and everything else back in the day.
Did you hear the Conscious crew say? I'm sorry, did you hear the Conscious crew? I remember say that apparently that during TGIF, Funky actually basically called Don whitewashed, but now he's smiling all in Don face.
Ain't that about a bitch?
Baby, the industry is so fake. Like
it's so fake. It's so fucking phony. CTV is so fake and phony, child. And these people, and then he know good and damn well that and then somebody said this on your show yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I didn't think about that till you right. Dineva is what Kaya is to T.S. Madison. Like Dineva is this one. Don wish he could say the shit that comes out of Dineva's mouth, and that he does not, but he can't say it because he was that white man. He got this channel, honey. He don't want to. He still want to hobnob with the. Even though he's doing independent, he still want to hobnob with all these other mainstream media channels.
And he has a big white audience as well, so he got to be careful. Because I said in my show too, Royce. I said Don is living vicariously through Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva is Don's alter ego. Funky is gonna say and do what Don not gonna bring himself to do because he got too much to lose.
Okay, exactly.
Dineva take the charge on all that. He'll let him run that tab up.
Okay, and then he brought Jason Lee to the channel and all this other stuff, and he's trying to, like you said, he's trying to pivot to read Wendy Williams. I'm just gonna let you know, Don. I like you, Don, but you're not Wendy Williams. Okay, you not the Don Dada. Okay, you're not. I don't care who. I don't care which one of these homosexuals you bring onto your channel, girl. You can bring me down there, girl. You can bring Ed. You can bring the correspondent homosexual. Honey, you is not going to bring Wendy Williams because you ain't got that oil. Okay, the thing with Wendy is she was the mess. You not messy enough. If you want to be Wendy Williams, you got to come with the shit, Don. Don't be bringing that Funky Dineva up here to be messy, and Jason will be messy. You be messy. If you want to be messy, come get in the messy bus. What I ask is if you want to be like motherfucking Wendy Williams, you want to eat your cake and eat it too. You want to stay with the white side, stay clean and fresh, but also engage in a mess. That don't work. You either gonna be on one side or the other. But child, let me tell you something again. Daniel, you better than me because I would have roasted motherfucking Dineva and then I would have read his eyes out. Baby. Okay, them glasses would have been fogged up the way I would have read Dineva down to the ground. I said, "Well, you know what's right,
girl? Because who are you feeling like?
Okay, I would have been like, Dineva. You know what else was white? AT Aliens refrigerator and stove. You got about that lady house. That was also was white too, girl. What color was it? Alabaster white or was it eggshell white? when you got that damn refrigerator out that damn lady house. You see, that's what I would have said this one about. So let me get off your challenge before I tear it up.
Happy birthday, Leo.
I love your voice.
Later, back, yeah.
Yeah, we might have to do some we might have to do some what's the name of our show, child? I forgot the name of the damn show. But what's
See on top of tea.
Yeah, girl, we might have to do some tea on top of tea show, child, to give the people what they need, how to give them that fix. But I totally agree. And Honey says Don is independent now. Don is partially independent. You gotta remember, he is independent, but he still is tied into corporate dealings because he has sponsors. And so now, you know, he's got to move in alignment with all of that as well. So, and look, I think, you know, I'm all for people creating hybrids of their brands and always finding a way to keep stuff spicy, keep stuff new. So I'm here for it. I would even be here for Funky being that pivot and being that person. It's just interesting to me that still to this day in modern time in 2026, Dineva is showing signs of his old ways. And if the best predictor of history is the past, then, you know, that's ultimately going to be very short-lived between him and Don Lemon. But if this was an ideal world and Funky was well and he understood the assignment and he was able to have better self-control, I think Funky could take it. He could definitely take it. Funky reminds me a lot of myself. We kind of have all of the working pieces. We can have all types of conversations. We can be entertaining. We can be serious. I think I have more intellectual range than Funky Dineva, to be honest. I think I have more capacity to like deep dive into the sociology, the psychology, the spirituality of it all. But I think Funky Dineva definitely has all of the general working parts to be a very well-rounded commentator. That's what I've always liked about Funky Dineva. And if he could clean it up, I mean, this could really be a great thing. The Lemon Drops seem to enjoy Funky, but the Lemon Drops also seem to have like boundaries. Kind of almost like the TGIF crew. I remember when they had to pivot and ghetto ass Barnyard Wiggins had to come in as a replacement, and how a lot of the core TGIF audience actually stopped participating in the live chats, and they felt like the audience that Barnyards brought in was very different from the audience they were used to, and the conversations took on a ghetto-ness, and it cheapened certain discussions because Wiggins consumers, they're here for the shallow roasting, gagging, you know, they're here for the entertainment. But, you know, TGIF had a habit of also kind of tapping into some real discussions. And it turned a lot of the core audience of TGIF off. So it's going to be interesting to see how all of that works. If it can work, if it does work, maybe Don already done been spooked, girl. I think that Roy said in the chat earlier that a lot of his members were very upset at him with what happened between Funky and Daniel. So maybe Don is going to kind of let that simmer down. Maybe he also got some emails from some sponsors, girl. So it's just going to be interesting to see how all that goes. But I think that Funky is good at what he does. But I know that he's going to need to overcome his pain body and his narcissism and arrogance in order to really be a true long-term asset, not only to himself, but to anything else he's a part of. Hey, Sin.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, room.
Hey, Sin.
Long time no talk. I'm a lemon head. I watch at 5 o'clock, coming home from work, come what may, and I saw the highlights and some of the commentary. It started off with a bang and blew up with a bomb. But if I had to be Viola Davidson to help, I would have to ask Funky, is you tired yet? Is you tired, Miss Millie? I think that was her name. Is you tired yet of sabotaging yourself? Because you're gonna have to sit in this and own this L on this one, because you always said people not taking you serious, or that you're losing opportunities and stuff. But you did this. And I am a lemon head. I'm trying to get back to, I can hopefully be a paid member to be up on there on Fridays, because there's a whole bunch of stuff we need to be talking about in addition to the things that Don brings up. And you all people seemingly to forget that Don was a legacy newscaster. This young man, Daniel, just finished school. Clearly he was a mass media or mass communications major. This is how they're taught. I am 52. I'll be 53. I remember watching Chicago Channel News is in Gary, Indiana. That you didn't see even the Don Lemon of yesterday. You didn't see. I mean, they were middle of the range. They didn't make a bunch of hyperbole. They didn't make a lot of conjecture. They just the facts, ma'am. Just like that old Dragnet show. Just the facts, ma'am. Just the facts. And that's what this situation called for. Was it great that you could have LGBTQ educated men have a discussion about this young man and what has the mess that done happened in Mississippi? Because this is every bit of Emmett Till 2.0. And the thing about it is, back when Emmett Till happened the first time and his picture in his casket got into the jet, the white folks down in Mississippi didn't like that the world called them hicks and crackers and you know what, and backwoods and Neanderthal-minded people. And that moved the needle forward some, but now here they're trying to make a hard swing to the right and turn it back around to the 1950s and 60s again. Now, even though that might have been how Funky felt, he should have kept that to himself. And when they go on when he goes to his little commercials, he could have aired it out with that. I mean, I don't think that.
I feel like Funky need to do. I think he need to do a training sessions in his room before he get on panels and be like, okay, I want to call this bitch a raccoon to his face. What's the professional way I can cuss this bitch out? And then find the most corporate way to say that without actually saying it.
Get a thesaurus.
I mean, Peru.
Funky, get a thesaurus, because here's the thing. I remember a few years back when Roland Martin was on TV One, and he had Dr. Umar up there and some other man. I think that he was a conservative, and they were having a political discussion. Now, pretty much, Dr. Umar said that he was like, pretty much called the man a house nigga without being a house nigga, was saying it out like that. He said, I just bet the white man loves you. And Roland shut that mess down. It wasn't, I don't think, a week or two later, that show was off the air. All because of that. He pretty much called him a house nigga, but he said it in a way that, trust me. And before Roland could jump in there, it was already out there. So I was a little taken aback, because that used to come on, I think, at 6 a.m. So to get, we need to be having more of these types of discussions, because we don't take stuff. We're so in tune with the reality TV mindedness of life. We got social media where we're acting like fools. We're acting like fools in public, acting like fools on the job, acting like fools in the family. And it's all for clicks and views. It's like, and then we wonder why the white folks look at us the way that they do. I mean, we don't, it's like they already got the damn gun. Stop giving them the bullets with our behavior, people. If you want to make white folks mad, let us all get together and level up. Let us all get and put a monkey stomp them in the things that they could never be, which is great like us. Let's monkey stomp them right in their mediocrity, where they're going to forever be. If they think, because they can't handle that. I mean, oh my God, I've seen white folks flip out when black folks come in on a spirit of excellence. That why you think Donald Trump, besides having frontal temporal dementia and vascular and all the dementias you can name, why do you think he keep President Obama in his dick suckers? He can't stand that man is everything that he'll never be in 5 lifetimes. He'll never be that in 5 lifetimes. Actually, I would love for, because there are some things I have agreed with Funky with over the years when he read Pat Houston, when Whitney's daughter died. That was the most epic read on Queen's Court ever. But this was not the place for that, because those older women, we do like to listen to Don, because no one is talking about the things in the Black community. All the other programs have let this story with Nolan drop. If it wasn't for him, as y'all as commentators, Daniel and Joy Reid, y'all keeping this thing alive, and Roland Martin and them, this would be another dead Black child, and we would have never knew why. If y'all want to do something collectively as a people, let's hold. If for every time, I don't care if they white teenagers with parents that got money or whatever, or police officers, we as a collective need to hold our foot on their proverbial necks and see how they like it, because we all know if the tables were turned and we became slave masters, which ain't what we trying to do, because we don't give a fuck about them like that, no way.
Now that's the type of revolution I'm trying to usher in. I'm trying to usher in reverse racism.
I know you are.
I'm just playing,
because you know you're such a
playing.
precious one. I'm just playing too. But no, I mean
40 acres and a mule at this goddamn 40 acres and a mule at this damn point. It need to come with a damn white slave on the side too, baby. A bitch to use her titties to milk my damn babies to help. A saltine bitch to clean my motherfucking house and cook my goddamn food.
Clean our toilets.
Yeah, at this point, baby, y'all owe us a little bit more at this point, baby, because you know because we got to get some interest on that 40 in the mule. Okay, I'm gonna need some interest.
Yeah, we're old, about 100 years on that 40 acres in a mule. 100 years of interest. I'm not gonna deny that, considering how people losing jobs and losing houses and stuff. You know, at this point, Black folks really should be able to just live free in America, since our ancestors already paid the cost in their blood, their sweat, their tears. Their blood was spilled on the streets. They were hung from the trees. They were burnt up in houses. Come on now.
I don't want them.
Banks and stuff, and the things and insurance company, how they really like the ones that we know now, MetLife and all of that dark history behind what they did with Black folks back then. We should get all this shit for free, to be honest with you.
I'm all right with getting it for free, cent, but I don't want them to be my indentured servants or slaves. They still walking around here with leashes on their children. They still ain't using no seasoning in their food. You know, all of the things that they
never cook for me. They ain't gonna never cook for me, and I clean better than them anyway. But
I
buy a porta potty just so they can clean it.
They ain't innovative, ain't nothing.
Into an AI technological cybernetic ass future. I plan on I'm gonna have me a saltine iRobot just to make myself feel better, and I'm gonna be bossing that bitch around my house like she a motherfucking slave. I'm gonna know what it feels like to be to have power over saltine people. That's gonna be the way I'm gonna do my shadow work, and the way I'm gonna resolve this cellular trauma passed down to me by my ancestors who never got to, you know, do the reverse Uno. I'm gonna take it out on the saltine AI robot I'm gonna be having with a leash on their damn neck. I'm gonna be telling Susie to get her cracker ass on the floor and clean these damn toilets. I'm gonna be tearing up my little iRobot baby. That bitch gonna be a whole slave around here, a whole saltine slave.
You know, I probably would take the more mature approach and just, you know, just look, and be real condescending to her in that nice, you know, disconnected white woman way. Just because here's the thing I've even found when I do it at work, they don't digest their own medicine well. They really don't.
Yeah, of course they don't.
Oh, honey, that bitter. It's funny that they could give us that sour wine, but when
I read something. Y'all, I read something so powerful. Speaking of that, saying it didn't. We got to get out of here because I want to get into this bonnet, pajamas, baby. I'm about to bust out my goddamn seams on this. I'm telling y'all right now to be ready. Y'all better be ready for me, baby. Baby, y'all better be ready, baby. Because let me tell you, baby, I'm not holding. I ain't mixing no words.
I'm coming back for a little while before I go to bed because I have to go to work.
Because baby,
I went to university
Because y'all know.
We didn't wear no bonnets, the class.
Because y'all already know that respectability politics is one of my goddamn triggers, child. I'm trying to find this thing. Hold on, real quick. Let me see. I think I shared it. Did I share it? Hold on. Let's normalize. No. No. Oh, here it is. Chat, and we can end on this. I saw this post on Instagram in tandem with what Sin had just said. That said, white people are the only ones who can wipe out millions and still be the victim in every motherfucking situation. Baby, that is
a word.
That ain't about the motherfucking truth.
That's the truth. That's the word. That's the absolute. No lies told. All the euphemisms you can come up with.
And they gave Iraq as an example, over 1 million humans being wiped off the earth. Vietnam, 500,000 wiped out. Palestine, 500,000 wiped out in just 3 years. They always reflect. What about black on black crime while dropping bombs indiscriminately? I'm just like, baby, that's a whole fuck. That's why I said we need to reverse some of this shit. We need to be the Karen. It's like, why we don't be acting up on white people the way that white people be acting up on us in public? Why we don't be extra locking out those?
I told you I do that. What you mean?
The motherfucking street when we see them coming down. Why we just don't be? Why are we not acting like we the ones that got something to be afraid of, baby? It's time to terrorize and Karen, saltine people the way that they ass have reverse Uno this shit psychologically, acting like we are the sicker ones in this equation when they are the sickest variable in this whole.
So in other words, we need more, and it's coming up on the anniversary too, more Montgomery riverboat days. Is that what you're saying?
We just need to pull a them on them.
Yeah,
okay.
Them on them. Ain't nothing more, ain't nothing less. It's just a them on them. What's good for the goose, make it good for the gander. That's all. That ain't nothing more. They don't put no extra more on it. Just what's equally good for the goose. It's good. Like everything got a reflection. Everything got an equal reflection. So let's just be an equal reflection.
I love the videos that I see. I don't know if anyone else, any of the other crew has seen it, but it's a lot of videos going around with these young black guys that are walking up to the Mayo folk and just hollering out the word ninja. Random. Just no matter where they at.
Girl. I'm hollering y'all at the conscious crew in the chat talking about, girl, I be in HR so fast now. Another conscious crew member said, I always hold my purse when they walk by. That's the type of shenanigans I'm talking about.
I get on my entitlement.
Turn up your nose.
Period.
Smell something.
Cause baby.
I legitimately give them the same energy that I see them give.
Yes. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. I'm gonna come back to y'all. I need to change the title on this live chat since we didn't get into the bonnet discussion. I need to redo this thumbnal and all that, and then I'll be seeing y'all in about 20 minutes for
okay. I'll be ready.
And all that.
Love and light later.
Right. Thank you so much. So, thank you, Rumors and Tea, for the discussion, babes.
You're welcome.
Joining me and holding it down, child.
See you later.
All right, babes. Y'all, this was an amazing show, child. All right, so y'all got a CTV official response, honey, to the backlash. Oh my God, I caught somebody ghetto who called somebody a house ninja. Ah, what a toxic cycle we find ourselves in, my God, today. If you guys enjoyed yourself, go ahead and run the likes all the way up, girl. We're gonna be coming back getting into Miss Monique, child. I see that Monique need that, so we gonna run her that. And Don Lemon had a panel, girl, and Don Lemon leaned into the respectability politics and then triggered my ass up, girl. So I'm probably about to pull and tug on his toupee as well, child. If you enjoyed yourself, y'all run the likes all the way up. Cash App, PayPal, email me, all the things. Follow me on all social media handles in the description box below, as well as scrolling from right to left and red and white. If you don't get notifications on YouTube, never rely on them because YouTube is raggedy and ghetto as hell. So you need to check the platform manually because, yeah, YouTube is unreliable. So I love y'all. Stay in peace, not pieces. Happy Wednesday. See you guys in a few. Peace.